Hello there. Wasai with the royal family. It's your girl Lay of Natural Lay, spiritually known as Luna La Negra. Thank you so much for tuning in to this rather late, but it's still Friday, Freebie Friday video. And before we go any further, please allow me to greet you with a divine prayer known as the Am Penta. Anabacoa, Gijalat Yamenka, Tatir Tizura, Kabel Renat, Amsha Sagvenu Taharanu Nora, Nagibor, Dorshe Gadeka, Kavavat Shamrim, Barkam Tarum, Rakame, Tazika Teka, Tamid Gamlim, Chasin Kadosh, Barav Tufka, Nahelera Teka, Yikit Ge'e, Lamchapane, Zokre, Kadusha Teka, Shavatanu Kabel, Ushma Tazakatanu, Yodea Ta'alamot, Urukshim, Kavod Malkuto, Lalambae. Thank you. All right. Please make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and share this video. This is going to be a really good one, and hopefully I don't make it too long. But also definitely let me know in the comments who you is, where you're from, how you feeling, and what you're up to right now. Hopefully you're not distracted, because today's video, and shout out to our Naturally Freebie Friday group on Facebook. If you would like access, all you got to do is click the link in the description and request access. It's a very private group and special group. This group does get access to videos first, little behind the scenes gems, etc., etc. So you definitely want to be a part of that group. So shout out to y'all, because y'all are watching this first. And yeah, like I said, I don't want to make this long. I would love for this to upload today. If you don't know, the internet connection has been a little shoddy, but it's all right. You know, as long as the content and the message gets out there, it's going to be what it is, and we're grateful either way to have connectivity. So today's video, well, let me do a little precursor. So, no. All right, we'll just, let me just throw this up and then I'll give all that and we'll jump right into it. So today's class is called, can you see this? There's a little glare. Understanding Written Rhythm, a mini lesson in poetry and music to learn mantras. Of course, with Natural Lay. And the 4 things we will be covering in today's video are what is a mantra, number 2, iambic meters, number 3, tempo, and number 4, a little strategy that I put together to help tie this all together and help you go forth. So, yay class! So if you have a marker board, definitely get that out and ready. Get your journal. You should already be having a journal if you click this video. Also, Freebie Friday got this, I dropped this link for them, but also it would be amazing, and you do need a printout of the Usnisa Vijaya prayer / mantra, because this is what we're going to be working with for the next 3 weeks to a month, if not longer, because we are going to take this one paragraph at a time. So, and of course, get you some colored pens. I got a couple highlighters, pencils, pens. It's really cool if you have a pen with all these colors on it. So go ahead and grab some materials. And while you're doing that, I'll explain why I chose this topic for today, and just why we're here. So, thanks to our beloved brother, Chris Enlightened, he has made me more aware of mantras, their meaning, their purpose, and just overall how to just win out here. And so in being spiritual beings and a body of light, we always want to make sure that we're adding light to ourselves, so that way we can give light and just be light in totality. So that way when we transition, we don't, if we choose to incarnate or come back, we don't have to suffer like we did this time. And so I'm sorry, I'm supposed to be posting content, but I'm making content. There's going to be another one going off in a minute. I'm sorry. Yeah, pillar and micro content. Shout out if you know where that comes from. But oh, that threw me off. Yes, so pretty much, you know, when you incarnate, your cellular memory follows you within your subconscious mind. So when you learn prayers and when you learn mantras, they stay with you. And us relearning them in this realm and in this day and age, it's not us learning for the first time. We are relearning and we're re-tapping in and digging it out from within our cellular memory and subconscious mind. So this ain't new, you know what I'm saying? But the way to re-tap in is a little bit new and it may feel a little foreign. So I hope that makes sense. Here we go. Micro content. Can you see that? It don't matter. Dismiss. Okay. Now that all our alarms are out the way. And the phone's on silent, so that's it. Please have your phones off or on silent. Not off, you know, but silent. Vibrate. Put it away. So yes. So in addition to the Anabacoa, the Usnisa Vijaya has been a prayer that I would like to learn, and I had started, but because of how daunting it can be, this was my original printout, and then I was like, I like this version a little bit better. So again, if you see this copy on Google, literally all I did was type in Usnisa Vijaya mantra. This is like maybe in the first or second row of images, print it out, and you'll be right along with us. And then I will also put the link in the description in case you don't want to do all that. But, oh God, I'm on Facebook. Chat, this is so ghetto. I'm sorry. Let me log out. I don't want no interruptions. Like, no. Katie, I love you, but I can't respond right now. Okay. Where's photo booth? Alright, we're back. Because I'm not restarting this. I'm not making this video over. And this for sure is going to upload by after midnight. So, hey, I made it on Friday. Okay? So, look. Now we got all the interruptions out of the way. Yeah, so I took it upon myself to learn, first and foremost, the Anabacoa, which is known as the miracle prayer. I bless my food, my water, my everything, the house, you name it, is Anabacoa blessed, okay? And when we're saying these mantras and these prayers, we have to, again, remember that English is not the first language, the only language, nor the most easiest or best language, and a lot of what our ancestors knew and were taught came in the language or derived from the language of Sanskrit, which is an ancient language. So a lot of these prayers are still in that Vedic form. And they carry a lot of power and energy. So I guess first and foremost, we can jump right into what is a mantra. And I do have copious notes because I did not want to mess anything up. So if you see me, you know, doing my thing, that's why. So, what is a mantra? And there I copped three different definitions, or three different definitions from three different places. Google, Wikipedia, and vocabulary.com. In a nutshell, the one I like the most is one of a collection of orally transmitted poetic hymns. Now, you might think, now what does music and poetry have to do with mantras? So, in learning the Anabacoa, I figured out that it kind of had this pattern to it. Like, it just has a pattern to it, right? And so if you know me personally, or if you catch the little things that I drop in these types of videos, or just in videos, period, I am a musician first and foremost. I'm a poet. I'm a singer-songwriter. There's not too much, I don't know, that I can't do. Like, no, not to brag, but that's just, I'm kind of really good at everything. But music and artistry is my first love, and that's what I've done since I was 2. And so I think a lot of the times in music and in rhyme and rhythm, like that's just how I think. There's even been times like when preparing for tests in grade school and middle school, even high school and college, throughout my whole school life, if there was something I didn't really understand, I would put it into like a song form or some type of creative way to help me remember it, because I'm just creative and artistic. That's just the way that I think. So in learning the Anabacoa, I was like, has this pattern going on to it. And so I didn't really think much of it. And then I started to use Nisa Vijaya, and then I was just like, this is kind of long. Like, I'm going to sit this one out. So it wasn't until recently, I believe Brother Chris Enlightened put out a video, like the top 4 mantras to help you win or something like that. I'll link it somewhere, cards, something's going to fly, swoosh somewhere. And I was just like, all right, like it was confirmation pretty much to tackle, so to say, the Usnisa Vijaya. Like, things are only as difficult as you make them. So I was just like, so you gonna let some words, like, that's why I was like, you gonna let some words beat you? Like, nah. So I was like, okay, let's redo it. Like, let's relearn it. But instead of relearning it on my own, I thought it would be pretty cool to share how it is I'm gonna go about this, and share it with y'all and have you guys to be a part of the process because, there's more accountability partners, A, B, I get to help others. Like, that's kind of really it. So, so the reason why I titled this the way that I titled this is because not only do I think this way, but I realize that I, A, know a lot without knowing how, and B, know a lot and don't remember where I got it from. So, I didn't want to just come on here and just be like, well, Lay said, you don't ever want to just take someone's word for face value. You always want to cross-reference and get your own, do your own research. So I wanted to also make sure that I made sense and that what I was saying was accurate, which is why it took me all day to do homework. And that's why I said in the Freebie Friday group that I had to put myself back in class because I just forgot a lot of terminology. I didn't know certain terminology. I knew limited terminology. So I really wanted to make sure that I gave the best and most clearest message that I possibly could. So that's why. And so as a musician and as a poet, music and poetry are literally one and the same. There's a couple of differences, and so I wanted to make sure I was able to explain the similarities and the differences and how it can apply to learning mantras. So this is how I learn, and I just have to share the way that I learn because you never really know if someone's going to resonate with your style. So if you don't resonate with my style, find another teacher, find someone else that can help you along this journey. But what you don't want to do is remain stagnant or allow things to get the best of you because ultimately, again, we're not meant to suffer, and we're not meant to we're gods and goddesses. Like, come on, we got this. So I got you. Hopefully you like this. Here's a little insight into my brain. I really do learn in color as well. So that's why the colors. I did not pass 7th grade math until my teacher discovered that I learned in color because seeing in black and white just wasn't doing it. So when I wrote the positives in blue and the negatives in red, and she was like, oh shit, it works. And it worked, and I kept at it ever since. So this is a fusion of my learning styles. So again, I hope this resonates and I hope this helps. And I think this has been a very long intro. So let's go. So again, we said what a mantra is. Originally in Hinduism and Buddhism, a word or sound repeated to aid concentration and meditation. And every definition I found had the word repeated there. So I underlined repeated, statement, utterance, sound, word, melodic. It's pretty much like the original definition that I said in the beginning said, orally transmitted poetic hymns. So it's words in music form. Okay, so that is a mantra. And to go a little bit further, some mantras have a syntactic structure, so they are in syntax form, like a sentence, and literal meaning, while others do not. So a lot of the times you won't be able to find a translation for mantras because it's beyond the English definition and comprehension, because a lot of these do come from the divine, do come from source and other realms and worlds, and there's just no way to put that in human terms. There's just no way to do that. And of course, they do have psychological and spiritual powers, again, because of the way that they're encoded with, their, just with what it's encoded with. So, so that's a mantra. So, yay. What is a mantra? not the marker falling. We learned what a mantra is, okay? So now number 2, iambic meters. So what's so funny is, again, so I'm a musician. I was in band in middle school for 3 years. I played clarinet. I missed the clarinet, but I played clarinet for 3 years, and I was also in the choir. I mean, I'm singing, like, that's not the point, because I've been doing that since I was 2. But band-wise, I didn't pick up an instrument, there we go, until middle school, and I played clarinet all 3 years. The interesting thing was my teacher would always fight with me because although I could, like, read sheet music, I wasn't trying to read sheet music because I can play by ear. So that's also why I had to put myself in class today, because I was just like, oh, damn, like, I need to know this now, because I'm trying to teach it. So, again, that's where the, like, knowing but not knowing comes in. But anywho, backing up to, let's start with poetry, because they combine. Well, that's iambic meter. Okay, so I was only familiar mentally or consciously with iambic pentameters, right? So if you're writing a poem, an iambic pentameter, here we go, note time. Iambic pentameters, all words with multiple syllables have accented and unaccented syllables. So I remember in high school, my first high school, can't remember what class it was, some AP course, but we were reading probably Shakespeare, because that's where a lot of these terminologies come from, and that's where they're always, like, kind of attributed to, or the most examples come from Shakespearean works. I remember the example of through yonder window break, and that's how you break it up, just like you would, like, with phonics. Iambic pentameter is the way in which something is written in poem form. And I really hope I'm not losing you and I'm making sense. If not, just rewind this, you know what I'm saying? So, and here we go. I just want to show all the notes. We got notes, y'all. So I'm trying to, like, deduce the notes verbally. So, in a nutshell, again, all words with multiple syllables have accented and unaccented syllables. So, an iambic pentameter is actually one type of an iambic meter. What is an iambic meter? So, there's, like, little subpoints here. So, first and foremost, you have to break down the word iambic and pentameter. You get iamb, I-A-M-B, which is a foot of two syllables. Oh, God. It's weird to say out loud, so forgive me. Okay, let's start over with iamb. I-A-M-B, and this is, this word is a Greek word, so that Greek word. So that's why you have to break it down and do it phonetically. I-A-M-B is a type of foot or metrical foot with an unaccented followed by an accented syllable, which is a form of verse. So I know, what the hell. I knew I had an example. Okay. A foot of two syllables. So I wrote a sentence. Here is a line of words, right? Here is two syllables, right? Here is 1, 2. That's 2 syllables. And that equates to a foot. Sometimes in poetry, a foot can also have 3. So it could be 2 to 3 syllables. That's a little more rare. I hope you're following with me. So lines built with iambs are iambic. So this whole sentence is a line. Here is a line of words is a line of words, and this is iambic. It's iambic because there are 2 syllables in each foot. Is that making sense so far? Thumbs up, comment, let's go. Don't grill me. Please don't shoot me down. All right. I'm trying. This is something new. Yeah. So, oh, child. Okay. So that's I am, right? And then ick is it's like a loan word. It's a suffix meaning having some characteristics of. And I'm going to put this all together because I broke it down individually and then I made my own definition and then I kept bringing it down. So here we go. So penta, think of a pentagram, a pentacle, 5, right? So penta is Greek for 5. So I am, bic, penta, or pent, and then the A, A is another long word. And then meter, a rhythmic element, or METR, meter, which is a combining form meaning measure. So to put that all together, we have a metrical foot of 2 syllables having some characteristics of 5 rhythmic elements. Unaccented syllable followed by an accented syllable. So what do I mean by unaccented and accented? The stress or the emphasis you put on certain words is what an accent or an unaccent would be. So for example, for the sentence, I was going to erase it, but I like it. So for the sentence, here is a line of words. Here is a line of words. You see how those stresses are different? It's not here is a line of words, unaccented v accented. So what's happening, I probably should have did this in marker, but I did it in pencil. So there are markings in poetry, and there's 2 different types of ways. You can do it with a U. To me, that makes a lot more sense for it to look like a U for unaccented and a line for accented. Some people have it as dots. That I feel like I think too much if I see it as a dot. So here is a line of words. Where we're putting the stress and the emphasis is called, oh no, did I do that backwards? Here is a shit. Y'all, come on, follow with me. Where you put the stress is accented. Where you don't put the stress is unaccented, okay? It's not an accent in terms of like language. It's an accent in terms of stress or emphasis of the word. That's what I'm trying to get at. We're going to move on. If that doesn't make sense, I am so sorry. We're going to keep doing videos like this for this type of information to make sense. So, yes. So, yes. This is crazy. Okay, it don't matter. So, yes. Let's try to go back. So, a line. So, a sentence is pretty much a line. That line is then divided up into iambs. Iambs are 2 or 3 syllables in a foot. In music, and that's where this baby comes in, this is also called a line, and these are called bars. So a foot and a bar is the same thing. What's cool about that is no matter how you read a mantra, and because it is melodic, it either sounds like a poem or a song, which in a mantra's case, it's both. And there's even notes back here too. So I'm like trying to make sure I cover everything. And that's actually where this all started from, 24 minutes in. As I was coming up, I came up with the strategy first of how to like best memorize or to get in the habit of learning a mantra. And then I wrote, just as music has a beat count and just as poetry has an iambic pentameter. But in researching iambic pentameter, I learned today that there's not only an iambic pentameter. A pentameter is a type of meter, so it's a type of iambic meter. And there's two most common forms of iambic meters, which are called an iambic foot or a trochaic foot. And then the trochaic foot is the opposite of an iambic foot. How did I come up with that? Well, I broke down the first two lines of the Usnisa Vijaya, and I was like, well, it's not doing what a typical iambic meter would do. The stresses are in different places. So I was like, well, what's the opposite of that called? And lo and behold, there is a term for that called trochaic foot. So, when the stress is different, so where the stress is determined, here we go. Because I feel like I'm all over the place. I do apologize, but I really do hope this makes sense. So we're going to stick with our example. Here is a line of words. A foot is defined by three things in poetry. So we're still kind of sticking with poetry, which is called poetic feet. So a poetic foot is defined by three things. A, the number of syllables it has. B, the number of stressed and unstressed syllables. And C, where said stressed and unstressed syllables fall in the foot. So based on all that, it will determine the type of foot. So for example, here is a line of words. Here is a line of words. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6. Since there's 2, here is a line of words. You wouldn't say here is a line of words. That's why 3 won't fit in that foot. It doesn't make sense. Because the way that it would make sense is how it would also make sense in speech, in regular English speech. So the trick is to not think in English, but to think in English. That's the weirdest thing to say, I understand. But I literally wrote, don't think in English. You can't think in English because these are Sanskrit words. So the properties and the way in which it was written is totally different than language as we use it now and today. However, there are some similarities that we can draw from. So, because that's 2, there are 3 sets of 2 syllables. Right? You're following me? So, in total, there's 3 feet in this sentence. And here is a line of words. 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 3. Because it's 3 feet, it's a trimeter. It's a 3-foot line. So that's where how many feet in the line determines the type of foot it is. I know. I'm just gonna hold up my notes just so you can kind of see what I'm putting down. So this is what I meant by some videos will have it to where the stress stays the same. It's like that slash, and then the unstressed they use dots. To me, it makes a lot more sense. It looks like a U. I unstressed. That makes sense to me. So I like this side more. If you like that side more, by all means. But I really hope this is making sense, because pretty much what I'm getting at is the way that I'm going to break this down. I hear it as a song in my head, and I didn't want to just say, we're going to do it as a song. I really wanted to give that background information for it to make sense, so that way you know the why. I'm really big on knowing why, so that way I can then have a foundation and apply it to other things. If you wanted to learn another mantra, you wouldn't just say, oh, well, I got to figure out how to make it a song. You would know why it's melodic because of X, Y, and Z. Oh, because this is a line of X amount of feet, so it's this type of foot. I think this is hilarious. Oh, this is hilarious. I've never really tried to explain this. So I really hope that makes sense. Boy, oh boy. So, okay. So that was breaking That was just the poetry side. So in poetry, there's iambic meters, the type of meter it is, whether a manometer, 1 foot, diameter, 2 foot, trimeter, 3 foot, like we have in our example, etc., etc., that determines the type of iambic meter it is. And then you can then figure out the flow. So, and I just want to give these last 2 points, and then we'll move on, or I'll tie it into music-wise. So, our example, here is a line of words, has 3 feet, which is a trimeter, so it is an iambic trimeter. It's not an iambic pentameter because there's not 5 feet in this. If it were a little bit longer, it probably could be 5 feet, but it's only 3 feet because here is a line of words. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, if I use more complex words, that's where the meters would shift. But since I stuck with a simple sentence, for simple sake, and I'm barely explaining this correctly, we're going to stick with that. And so that sentence is an iambic trimeter because it's a 3 foot line. All right. Whew. So, there are also types of tempos. If you've ever read a poem or written a poem, again with the through yonder window breaks example, it sounds like it's da-ba, da-ba, ba-ba. So that type of pattern, there's 2 different main patterns. So they called it the da-dum pattern, and you would think heartbeat. Da-dum, 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 da-dum. So that duh, that's a stressed. So a stressed followed by an unstressed. Right. See, this is where I'm even losing myself. I apologize. Based on where the stress is, determine if it's one of 2 types of patterns. A da-dum pattern or a horse gallop pattern. Whereas versus da-dum, da-dum, da-dum. And they sound different, and I wish I could really better explain how that is. But what I discovered in breaking down the Usnisa Vijaya, the first 2 sentences, was that not only was it not the first type of pattern, which is the iambic, because the stresses are different, it makes it trochaic. So it doesn't do the da-dum, da-dum, da-dum. It's doing the horse gallop pattern. So, for example, let's do the first 2 words. Namo. Namo. It's not namo, it's namo. Another example would be behind. Behind, behind. You see, the stresses are different. So it's namo, baga, vate, not namo, baga, vate. The stresses are in the beginning. So if you see here, we have stress and unstressed. And the stress and unstressed is trochaic. A trochaic stress has the horse gallop pattern. So it's namo, bago, vate, not namo, baga, vate. See how that's more heartbeat-like versus horse gallop? I hope that makes sense. So now we're going to tie it to music. Those types of patterns is called a tempo. So in music, a tempo is the speed of the beat or the pulse of a piece of music. So those are 2 different speeds, right? A heartbeat is different than a trollop, gallop, gallop, dollop of daisy. Yeah, so, this is interesting. It's really strange for me to try to explain these things, so I appreciate you for rocking with me if you're still here and for trying to grasp my kookiness. So yes. So a tempo. So let's do, because I got the metronome here, so metronome, meet there. Here we go. So this is 100 beats per minute. And this is a standard, like, beat pattern across the board. So I hope you can hear this. You hear that tempo? That is a tempo. Namo Bhagavate Trilokya Pradevisa Staya. Namo Bhagavate. Yeah. So the beat, what makes a song, that initial is the tempo, which in poetry is a type of pattern, which is the da-dum pattern or the horse gallop pattern. Okay. I promise we're going to wrap this up. Well, it's going to be what it is. But, yes. So, then this other information that's more complex, because I had to take music theory all over again. So, I'll tell you, I was in class today. So, like, what are you getting at? I know. The way that I'm pretty much breaking down the Usnisa Vijaya is melodic to me. So I wanted to draw the comparisons between music and poetry because they're one and the same thing. This first sentence is a line. This line is called a line in poetry and in music. Namo. Boom. So I didn't want to do this on camera. I wanted this to kind of be y'all's homework. But since I don't really feel like I'm making all that much sense, we'll do part of it here. Namo. And you can see. So what we're doing first and foremost is breaking it up by syllable. Based on the syllables, you'll be able to see, oh, okay, 2 or 3. And that's going to determine the type of foot that it is. Okay? Namo Bhagavate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Wow, this is interesting. It's like saying something out loud that like sounds way better in your head than out loud. I'm like, I get it. So I hope you get it. Because I really don't understand. So I wrote some notes. Clap to determine where the stress is. So even that sentence, clap to determine where the stress is. Like, you'll be able to hear it. And you'll also be able to find the tempo that way as well. I think we covered that. A bar in music is the same thing as a foot in poetry. So when you are breaking it up, and this is called a bar line. So this is called a bar line in music. A bar is the same as a foot. Bar, foot, same. So when we're breaking up these words, you can then see why I hear it as a tempo, or as a melody, because of its tempo. And its tempo is based on its feet and its syllables. Damn, that made sense. So, I might do a part 2 to this because I know I'm going to watch this and be like, oh, I could have said something way better. I'm like dogging myself so y'all don't dog me. But I have to upload this video. I gotta do it. Like, this has been on my heart. So, we're doing it. But yeah, I just wanted to share this technique with y'all. So look, we covered iambic meters. There are multiple types of iambic meters, not just the pentameter or pentameter. Yes. And the type of meter it is depends on how many feet there are in a line. So that's your homework. I want you with this information, and if you must do some further research, by all means, my love, please do. I know I was not the best this go around, but we're going to get better. Amen? Amen. So your homework, I would like for you to break down the first paragraph of the Usnisa Vijaya by feet and stressed v unstressed. That is your homework. And when we come back next week, hopefully I can be a little bit more clear and probably do a little recap, and then we can go forth. So, yes. But yeah, I hear it as it's a melody in my head, because I was like, Nama Bhagavate, try look, yeah, Artivist style, Budaya Bhagavate, Tariyata on. So that makes sense to me. So I'm just like, well, why does that make sense? And it's because it makes sense because of the way that it's written. Okay? Okay. I even also I'll play a little snippet of this. I made a little like rap. This is just off the rip. Like, this isn't for real, but I would definitely love to turn mantras into songs. That's you're the first to hear about this upcoming endeavor, this project. But it's called the Usnisa Vijaya rap. They cut out my sound. Right. So it sounds like I hear it as a song. I wanted to explain why I hear it as a song, and hopefully if you learn in music or in creativeness that this would make sense and would help you see it as fun instead of so daunting. I tried to break it down in layman's terms. For that, I don't know, rate me 1 through 10. Let me know how I did. It was a little shoddy, so give me a couple what are those called in school? Those blessing points. A curve. Give your girl a curve. We need a curve, okay? We need a curve. But 1 through 10 mean, I tried my best. Again, I've never tried to explain this. It's like trying to explain why you like a certain food. Because I do. That's like breaking down the taste buds and, because it's just one of those things. So I gave it a shot. I hope this makes sense. So if you want to learn more, just you can Google iambic meters. You can Google or research music theory, specifically tempo. So pretty much all I was getting at, and we're going to wrap this up because I feel like now it's repetitive. The Usnisa Vijaya and mantras, period, are written as poems and melodies. Poems and music are written pretty much one and the same. The number of words and the way they're broken up and the way that they're stressed, as would in regular speech, determine its speed / tempo / pattern, whether it be the da-dum or the horse gallop, and that's what makes it melodic. And I hear that, even reading this, I hear it melodically in my head, and so I wanted to share that as a tip, that if you wanted to try this, maybe it'll work for you in a musical way or a poetic way. So, 1 through 3 is done. We're hitting the strategy now. So, if you're like, well, I've never heard it. I don't even know what it sounds like. I don't know if these words are, I don't know if these, you got me over here reading, literally a foreign language. I understand. That's why we got a strategy. This is actually what we wrote first, and then everything else came after. So, what I want you to do first, and you don't have to listen to Brother Chris Enlightened's version, but that's the one that I've been hearing, and so I kind of also know the way that it sounds because I have it in, I have a divine prayer playlist, and so it's one of those prayers that comes up, and so I hear it in the background, it's my subconscious knows, and deep within we know. So I've heard it before, so I was able to pick up on it, but here's a way, if you don't want to do, because you're not going to be able to do this first without hearing it. So before we break it down, that's strategy number 2. Strategy number 1, which is 6 parts. Number 1, hear it all the way through first. So again, this is how I learn. So just, bear with your girl. So first and foremost, hear it all the way through. And I will put the link. There's a card flying somewhere. There's some stuff. Hear it all the way through. Because when you hear something, then you'll be able to understand what it's supposed to kind of sound like, right? So hear it all the way through, number 1. Number 2, hear it all the way through and catch the tempo, pattern, or rhythm. So you can do that on the sheet, or you can just hear it and be like, oh, okay, I kind of hear a little some happening. Like when you hear it that's actually how we learn music. How did you learn your favorite song? You listen to it over and over again, and you were like, oh, this is when they would hit the high note. This is when da-da-da-da-da. So it's treated as your favorite song, but this one's better because this can help you in so many ways. A fun fact, this mantra is known for purifying all evil paths in life. And also, again, if you choose to incarnate, you will not be poor. So, right. So, first and foremost, hear it all the way through first. Just kind of kick back, listen, and be like, okay, cool. I heard it. I may not know what the words are yet, but I heard it. Step 2, hear it all the way through and try to catch a tempo, a pattern, or a rhythm, which is what we tried to break down for y'all in layman's terms. Number 3, because this is what helps me, match the audio to the visual words. So now that you kind of know what it sounds like and you kind of caught a little pattern, now I want you to listen to it while reading the words. So you're like, so when Brother Chris Enlightened says it, for example, he goes, Namo Bhagavate. So listen, be like, Namo Bhagavate. See how the letters are being pronounced is what I'm trying to get at. Number 4, say it, and I put in brackets, edit. So you shouldn't have to, though, because I did find this version where it's pretty much letter for letter, word for word. There was a version that I had that I kind of had to like scratch out some stuff. So this one you should be pretty much good with. So you won't need to edit, but if you need to, go ahead. Or also what helped me is if you want to kind of be like, oh, this sounds like this. It's not written like that. So if it says triloquiar and you're hearing that R, but you don't see an R, write an R. Whatever's going to help you. Okay? So, hear it all the way through. Step 1. Step 2. Hear it all the way through and try to catch a little tempo. Like, you don't have to do it on the sheet, but just catch a little tempo, catch a pattern, catch a rhythm. Step 3. Match the audio to the visual. So, follow along with the words so you can hear and see at the same time. Step 4. Say it along. So, this is the pause and rewind time. So, now you're intentionally trying to Namo Bhagavate. You're now trying to say it along with, the version you're listening to. Number 5, repetition. Because as we all know, repetition is how we learn. We learn through doing something all the time. You learn how to brush your teeth through repetition. You learn how to tie your shoes through repetition. You learn how to write your name through repetition. Repetition. Okay? So, and what I mean by repetition is I wrote something you incorporate with something you do daily. So if you've watched some of our older videos, like our our packing videos, I would have a playlist playing of meditations, and this was one of them. So that's again a way to get it into your subconscious mind. Like you're not actively paying attention, but you're paying enough attention to where you can kind of every now and again, like you know that line or that word. So that's how I learned. And then number 6, make it your own. So once we get more comfortable, again, we're just working with the first paragraph. If you want to be advanced, hey, advanced students, by all means, please. But I really want you to take it slow. Take it slow. Bum, 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 bum. See that tempo? Anyway, I'm trying to just make it click, but yes. So again, this is going to be part 2. You doing the accented and unaccented, finding the feet and the syllable breakdown. That's going to be part 2. But you do have a 2-part homework assignment. It's kind of 3 parts because I actually want you to find a song or do your favorite song, print out your favorite song, and see if you can do it with something easier or that you know, and be like, oh, this does have a pattern to it, and identify the pattern is what I want you to do. So, yeah, we'll be on this for a good month and a half to 2 months. But this is fun. This is fun. It's so much fun. But yeah, I think I'm through. I really hope this makes sense. You have to understand the semantics of poetry and music and the words and the terminology, but ultimately, I hear this as a song or as a melody, and it makes sense, and I wanted to explain why it makes sense, and I hope it makes sense. So, next week, we'll do a little recap, and then next week I will have the first paragraph broken down into each line broken down by feet and syllables and the stresses, and then, yeah, we'll go from there. So, thank you for bearing with me. Shout out to you. If you're still here, I appreciate you. I tried my best. We'll keep getting better. I'm not impressed. So, anywho, y'all see the shirt. Don't play. Cleanse, baby. Clean living essentially answers the needs of self-evolution. All the answers you need is by clean thoughts, clean environments, clean people and auras, clean foods. That's how you evolve, through being cleanly. What do they say? Cleanliness is next to godliness. Yes. So visit the Teespring store. MPire. Welcome to MPire merchandise. Link is down there. We got mugs, shirts, stickers. Your baby can get blessed up. So yeah. Yes, little merch plug. Anywho, thank you so much for bearing with me. I know this is a little bit shoddy, and I know this is going to be uploaded late, but we did it anyhow, and I definitely wanted to share. I'm a nerd about everything, so I love things like this, and I feel that since it helps me, it can help another. But I definitely do want to get better at explaining, so this is what these videos are for. So, I'm through. Thank you again. I appreciate you. I love you. I found you in prayer and peace, so I would love to send you back in peace. So, please allow me to, again, say the Anabacoa, excuse me, and talk too long. And then we can close our class session for today. I'm not gonna like this replay. Okay. Anabacoa, Gidjalatiminka, Tatir Tijrara, Kabelrinat, Amsha, Sagvini, Taharanunora, Nagibor, Dorshe Videka, Kavavat Shamdum, Barkantaram, Rakame, Tazika Teka, Tanit Gamlin, Chasim Kadosh, Raftuka, Nahawarateka. Yakitya air, Lanchampane, Zapre, Kadushateka, Shavatanu Kabel, Ushnot, Zagatanu, Yadea to Alamot, Warukshem, Kavod Malkuto, La La Thank you. Now, you may be asking, well, why don't we just start with the Anabacoa? Because I've been saying for half a damn year for you to learn it. So that's your homework. I can't be saying that D word, not just prayed. Okay, we're out. But yes, someone's going to ask. That's why. Because I want you to learn it. That's the easiest one to learn by yourself. So, okay, I'm through. Thank you. Don't you ever forget to stay magical always. Luna la Negra out.